Oh well, the group it's just a group, man. It's just the guys. It's just fun. Like, you know, we just try to add energy to the atmosphere and like make it more fun.
Hey, Rich.
I don't think I could do that. We're doing something for our film. Scott's right here at the camera.
Both of you.
Good afternoon.
Have you seen a man running through the hallways?
You didn't know that it's National Walk Upstairs Backwards Day today?
Today's... No, okay, I know.
We are supporting National Walk Upstairs Backwards Day. Don't trip it. You gotta get better.
The shenanigans we do, like I say, it's just all fun and none of it's scripted either. It like all just happens.
Let me get a burger, yo.
Where's the food at? You gotta feed the poor. I'm poor.
It's not ready. It's not ready.
How much longer? Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah. Squeeze that in your eye like Supreme Patty.
What's up, Miss Jacob? There he is.
20 minutes?
I'll wait.
Alright, man. Sharing is caring. I'm gonna be back in 20.
I'll be back in 20.
I need at least a sample size. At least a sample size. Yeah, I should have go get some food, man.
We were just stealing. We were just stealing.
We were just eating the food. That's it.
It's just pure comedy, low key. That's the way I'm gonna put it. It's just pure comedy.
Are you guys stomping in my hallway? I love you, Ryan! Why didn't you die? Why didn't you die? Why didn't you die? Could have at least responded, making it seem like my gun's weak.
Scarecrow.
That's all. That's all.
Here. No, I'm fast.
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
I was about to say, you don't even know how to use the Glock. And that's a shot. Barry, why aren't you in class, bro? Why aren't you in class? You telling me you came out of class just for you to lose that lunch anyway?
I've always been friends with them since like 6th grade. Smoking, skating, clowning around.
I'm in an interview. I'm in an interview. Here's my tape. In the group, I feel like on our own, everyone's like pretty quiet, but like when put together, we can be quite rowdy. Because I'd say if I was on my own, I feel like I don't really talk a lot, but with them, like I can be kind of loud and annoying sometimes.
it all.
I feel like when you're in a group, there's like more energy. I feel like when you're like doing something, it's a little more amplified. Like if you guys are all joking around, I feel like you guys will have more fun than just joking around with like one person.
I think everyone in the group is like, as a group, more comfortable. Like I'd say there are definitely people who are like one-on-one, it can be like harder to find things to talk about rather than like in the whole group. Because in the whole group there'll be people who are like closer than others. I feel like me and Ryan used to be like really close, but not as much anymore. I think the spaces get filled kind of by new people or other people in the group. Like me and Ryan used to be close, but like now I'd say I'm close to like Josh, Nate, and Mateo. So like they kind of filled that space, and I guess like Ian filled that space for him. I mean, they've become really close. Like everyone calls them like the twins now. They tend to act and dress the same.
Alright. I guess I'll start with just like general questions to make this more comfortable.
Right. Icebreaker.
Yeah.
Right.
How are things?
Decent.
What's going on in your life?
It's going, you know. It's moving along.
Uh-huh.
At a good pace. Not a fast one or a slow one.
Mm-hmm. What does that look like?
The huge.
Which is?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like actual, like serious answers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is like...
Oh, this is serious. What's going on? Nothing out of the ordinary. It's, you know, pretty bland. It's, you know, same old, same old. It doesn't sound like serious answers, but they are.
Yeah. So what's the ordinary?
It's just wake up, go to school, get back home, do the same thing over and over again. Just a little loop.
Is that like good for you?
It's boring.
Mm.
It's alright. It's like, I don't know. It's alright.
What would make it less boring?
I don't know. It's a little fun.
What do you do for fun?
I mess around with people. It's pretty fun.
Has that always been like what you do for fun?
Yeah, I guess.
Me and Ian are real close. Almost see him on a day-to-day basis, and we do just about everything together. I mean, we share everything. I don't know, we just always have a good time. We all used to like skate together, and like we'd always be like a little pack, you know, get food together, do tricks, film, do stuff like that, you know. And
We don't really. We hang out with them sometimes outside of school. Not as often as before though.
Yeah.
Like before, we used to be like the whole group. Like every single person would like come to the hangouts and like.
I don't know, some people kind of put down the skating and started getting cars, and
Once people got their cars, the hangouts started getting a little more exclusive, a little more secretive. Like, I don't know, we'd text people and then they just like act like they didn't know what was going on or like what the plan was. So then we like kind of just started like stopped reaching out, and then we hung out together more and more, and then we got along really well. Pretty alike, I'd say.
that's how we got close. Yeah,
It's really the only person I really hang out with now.
we're like pretty similar. We have like a lot of similar interests.
Yeah, we mostly hang out. We just smoke weed, and I don't know. We just have like a sense of humor. Like our sense of humor, like just pairs really well, I guess. To be honest, sometimes we just hang out. We don't even have a plan, and we're just like sitting there most of the time. But we're just like together, and we're just like fucking around, just laughing, just like random shit, and it's like so stupid, but it's really fun.
How often do you guys hang out?
Like pretty often, I'd say. Weekends, weekdays, after school. Maybe like 4, 3, 5 times a week.
With like me and Ian, we're always like in on stuff together. We'll like joke around.
Wait, I'm gonna add the music. Yeah, I'm adding the music.
Bro. Hey, what's up, Scott?
Well,
Sorry, what was the
It's come to my attention that some of you are missing.
Do you need help editing?
Why don't you just upload it and then edit it on a fun paragraph? Essay.
then you can just flip it real quick.
Spell it for me, class. I'll spell it for you. It might be a little hard. R-I-Z-Z Riz. That's what I'm talking about.
R-I-Z-Z Riz. Homies don't touch homies' ass.
I'm encouraging you to get a bigger ass, bro. Like you got that,
That's
bro.
where
Your
it's
shit already
from,
grown.
bro.
Your
Just
shit
pick it
already
up.
want me to-
Pick it up,
as
pick it up. Ooh.
I met Mateo in 4th grade, and then I started sitting like with the kind of everyone I hang out with now, like Josh Rodman and Sam and all of them. I started sitting at their table in 8th grade, and that's where he sat, and we became kind of close again ever since then.
Oh, Ryan. You know what someone reminded me of yesterday? When you used to go like this. I'm a bird, I'm a bird. Or what you used to say? You used to be like, I'm flying, I'm flying.
I feel like Mateo doesn't come down much. Mateo usually will just hang out when we're in Hollywood. We've kind of been bored of like the skating for a while. Every couple months, like people get hurt, and then we'll stop for a while, and then we'll think like, why did we stop? And we start again, and then people get hurt. Now that most people in our group can drive, like we don't skate a lot anymore. We'll just drive, and some people like won't even bring their boards. In the beginning, when most people didn't drive, only a few people, we wouldn't really hang out in big groups anymore because not everyone would like fit in the cars. So like it started to be more like smaller exclusive groups for a while. But then as more people like started getting their licenses, we would just do the same thing with more cars.
Yeah, I guess I used to have a skate finger in the school, and then everyone stopped once they got cars. Which I thought would be the opposite. Like I thought we'd be driving to skate parks and driving to spots super far out. But killed the motion.
I feel like skating kind of brought everyone in the group together.
Like I made a bunch of friends off of just like knowing skaters, being able to do an ollie or even able to like, ride the skateboard. I had some great friendship starters with that.
Now that we skate less, it's like, I guess harder to find things that we all have in common. Even though there are a good amount, like I feel like skating was the biggest one.
I would say another reason I bonded with them is because it was a time where I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do, to be honest. I was like within the streets, and Mateo was like, bro, you gotta get away from that negative part of life, Like you got other people, like I got square homies, then I got the gang member homies. Mateo told me, bro, you gotta stick with the square side. So
yeah, I'd say I see Mateo definitely one of the most, because even on days where I'm like feeling lazy and I don't want to go out, I feel like he pushes me to like go out and get some physical activity in for the day. He's kind of the one always pushing to like keep the skating going rather than like everyone just quit. He gets people out the most.
them always been a bros, they always been cool. Ian, I just got to really meet him and like hang out with him this year in the film class. Bro's pretty cool too, that's the homie. We are building a friendship for real.
5 more, 5 more. 3 more. I said 3 more, Junior. I'm the weakest out of everybody at the bar. Just so you guys know, I can only do 1 pull-up.
You guys are seriously filming this?
Yeah.
You up next? Who's up next? Hold up, I gotta make sure the bar is clean for my junior.
Okay.
Feel me? That's how we do it at the bar.
MTV Crib, you know what I'm saying? Okay, MTV Crib, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so check out the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? I got the mirror over here. I got the mirror, I got my bathroom, I got all that.
Bro, that's a dude. What are you talking about?
What you mean? You
Oh,
type shit like,
don't be out here.
what's up, bro? Why you out here like that, bro? Why you out here like that?
Get him, Ryan! This is all fake. This is for entertainment purposes only.
They got me in my crib, bro.
This is for entertainment purposes only. Hey, bro, what did I just tell y'all about that gay shit, bro? I'm trying to push you niggas into the girls' direction where y'all belong. That gay shit. Get on.
Okay.
Only part of the LGBTQ that we accept is the L. Alright? Because they like what I like. Alright?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Alright. Ryan, thank you. I was gonna say this is not parkour. Alright, don't hurt yourself.
So 6th grade, I had theater, and there's a bunch of older kids in theater because it's an elective. One of them smoked, and I was offered, and I said yes. I was in 6th grade, I didn't really know. I don't remember even feeling high, but I remember just like being excited that I did it. And then I hadn't done it for a little bit, and me and 2 other friends at the school made a pact to never do it. And the following week they both did, and then the week after that they offered, and I was like, sure. And I was severely, you can cut this part out, I was like severely addicted to nicotine. So that also played a role in me stopping smoking. In 8th grade I didn't do anything. And then I had this other friend group in the valley that I hung out with, and one day they all did, so I did as well. And from then it's just been every day since. Not every day, every couple of days.
So it's like 9th grade. It's a lot.
Yeah. But also it's cool because like I think it's benefited me. I think it's taught me lessons. I think it's drained the fuck out of my money. But overall, I think it's nice. I think it does benefit more than it breaks. You know what's crazy is it used to be like 4 or 5 times a day. Wax, if you have it on you, it's like a vape. You hit it constantly. It's not like a cigarette where you can smoke it. You have to smoke outside and around, so you can't smoke around some people. But like with the wax pen, it's constant. And that's why people they don't get addicted, but they start getting reliant on it.
My first time smoking weed was, I want to say I was definitely in like 6th grade. It was outside of school experience stuff. I don't know, I always seen my family do it as a kid, so I never thought it was bad. Like when I did it, I didn't be like, F marijuana. I didn't think about it like that. I just thought about it like, this is what I see everybody do. Like,
we don't use it to cope with stuff. We don't use it as like a coping mechanism, whatever. Like, we just use it because it's fun. Like that's it. Yeah, I don't think it's like a tool we use. I think it's more just an activity that we do for fun.
It definitely helps me slow down. I feel like I'm always overthinking things, you know. I feel like that really gets to me. Just helps me slow down. It makes me feel good, you know. The chemical reactions, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely it. That's about it. There's really no purpose. It doesn't really help. Yeah. It doesn't really help, man.
I used it to cope with problems and things that I've seen in the streets, things that I've been through myself. I used it to try to help me, but then like as older I got, I realized it didn't even help. Like all the problems are still there. Everything I face is still here once the high goes away. And it's just useless. It doesn't really help you with nothing unless you like just want to feel good for the moment. Other than that, it was just like a waste of my lungs, a waste of my money, and a waste of my time. But I'll be saying that and be dead wrong if I told nobody else to do it, because I still do it all the time.
What about nicotine?
I don't do that.
Do you think that is something you do use to cope?
No, because I don't use it. But if I did use it, it's not gonna cope. Just because like I've been addicted since 7th grade. If I smoke, so like nicotine doesn't like benefit me whatsoever. Like you don't even like I don't even get the feeling anymore that you usually get, because my tolerance is so high numerous times a day for the past fucking years. But
Are you upset about that?
I'm a bit frustrated.
At yourself? Or
Yeah, at myself and the people who make nicotine products. Like, who made like flavored vapes? That's the fucking dumbest, smartest thing in the whole world. Got everybody hooked. I am frustrated at myself though. I had made like I told myself like that like I'd stop, and then I would stop for a while, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like I know I can stop whatever, just that I don't, and that's why it's bad. So I told myself like once high school's done, I think I'm never doing it again, except maybe on Fridays. I don't think I can stop. I think I say I can stop whenever. It's not going to be like a proven fact until I do it. So. But it's really like it's a normal thing. My mom smoked when she was younger. My dad drank when he was younger. Cigarettes were always in our house, stuff like that. So my mom was very aware of it and doesn't want me to get addicted or to, fuck up my lungs, which I think is good. That's what parents should do. They shouldn't give up on their kids. And, like, even though I want to like smoke in the house and like do whatever I want whenever I want, like I think it's so great that my parents are like putting in the effort to make sure that doesn't happen. So, yeah, it's good, normal family stuff. Sometimes I think yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, okay. I don't know. Families, you gotta love them. My parents, I feel like they make me feel, a bit older because of how they act and how we deal with shit, which I don't like sometimes. No, family's a strange subject.
It's alright, Junior. You don't even need to worry.
About a thing.
About a thing.
About a thing.
Your old pappy is here.
Old pappy got you.
Old pappy got you, you know? I take care of you.
No
I
need
feed
to
you,
worry.
boy.
No.
The rulers. Man, if this shit play again. The rulers.
Oh, fuck you.
Like, the film is in school.
Yeah, no, but I was focused on
Do you think
like,
it's weird that I'm filming? Do you think it's weird that I'm filming?
Yeah, a little bit. What they're saying definitely matters. Like, what he said, which was just so good. He was like, oh, the clothes keep changing in that one scene or whatever. And like throughout the movie, like her clothes change like repeatedly, and she doesn't notice it for like a while. So what he said, like it does matter. Some of the dialogue, some of it's just talking about. I just kind of told them to just like talk and just get to where they need to go scene wise.
I don't know what to ask you. Do you think that being in, like, that group, do you think you, like, mess with people more?
A little bit. Like, it definitely, like, pushes me to do it. like a little more. I don't know, cause like I see them like doing it also, and then like it's funny, and then like I feel like doing that.
Yeah.
But I usually feel like doing it even when I'm not with them. I feel like we don't connect as much as we used to, and so I feel just like I'm just there, you know. Sometimes I'm not really like. I'm just like there, like physically, but like I'm not there mentally, you know. Just in my head, just like thinking, like, just in my head, or like, just, I don't know, bro, like, I don't know. But I kind of like enjoy that sometimes. I like being alone, but it could get a little boring sometimes. In the world, Rain's a lot more quiet. He's a lot more like gathered to himself, you know. But then once you get him like one-on-one and like you get him to open up, you can go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't have that? Like
Nah.
One-on-one, you're just
Nah.
the same?
Same. I'm pretty kept to myself. I don't open up to everyone, you know. I don't know.
What about Graham?
I don't really tell him how I feel either. My true feelings, I guess, how I really feel. Like, I definitely keep that hidden from like everyone, I guess. I don't know. I just don't. I find that a little like uncomfortable. A little. I don't know. Just yeah.
Sometimes we'll talk about struggles and like things we're dealing with, but I feel like a lot of the people, like, we don't really like to talk about feelings, I guess. Like, I feel like if we ever talk about feeling, I feel like Mateo kind of starts that conversation, and I feel like everyone feels like comfortable talking about it, like with him and stuff, but I feel like when he's not there, it's kind of like looked over, I guess.
People talk to me about everything. I've been told a lot of stuff. Yeah. Tons of stuff. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm like interested in what people have to say. But who knows?
Do you think it can be hard to connect with people?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. With some people, yeah.
But I've never been like really vulnerable around someone. I love to be vulnerable with my friends, but the majority of them don't get it, and rather be doing something else. So, you know, I think I haven't really been able to be vulnerable per se, or like fully vulnerable. I've definitely been vulnerable, but not to the the amount that I would like to do for like one time with a certain someone.
So there's no one you really feel like you can be vulnerable with? Yeah.
There's certain people,
But you're not.
but I'm not. To an extent, I am, but then there's a line I really cross sometimes.
I probably got like 2 homies I feel like really comfortable with, just saying, and don't think they won't like retell my problems or something like that, but I don't oftenly do it. Another way that I've been able to cope and help myself is like with tattoos. Everything that I like just been going through and like can picture it, I try to put that picture into the tattoos and make it art. This is my grandpa's death date, and this is my mother name, and like the only 2 people that I really had in my life. My mom was a single parent. She tried to play both roles in my life, but I still never had a man figure. I still don't know how to tie my own tie. I still don't know how to do certain things that a man was supposed to show me to do. My dad, I've never really had him, but I've always missed him, if that even makes sense. I never even got to meet my dad. He died before I was born. So I always try to like keep the name strong and always try to do good for him. He told my mom while he was dying, because he had got shot, and my mom was right there. And she didn't know that she was pregnant at the time, but he did. So he was like touching her belly and stuff, she says. He was like, I want you to name my son after me. Like, I want a Junior. And I was his first and only child. That means a lot to me, just being that. This arm, my left arm, is like memorial arm for all the people that I lost. I want to get the stairs going up to heaven, the heaven gates and like clouds and stuff, with a Casper to represent my dad, because his name was Black Ghost, with a money bag, like Casper holding a money bag with a 5 in it for 5 bands, which is my cousin that died in a car accident recently. I've been trying to look at it like at least as a better thing he died than him going to jail for life, but I for sure would rather just hear his voice than have to get him tatted on me or see his face on a shirt. Yeah, like death is just like a reoccurring thing for me. It's to a point where I don't even cry no more, but yeah. My only other way to cope is music, which is why you guys always hear me singing and things like that, because my grandpa, that's resting in paradise, the one thing he will always tell me is that music is good for your soul, and it definitely is. It keeps me talkative, it keeps me happy, and it keeps me like going. Like I say, I just let the music be a way that I express myself. Like even if it's my own lyrics, like if I'm going through some pain right now, or I'm having a hard time, I might just go in my notes and start, like, you know, instead of having it in my head, it was me getting it out in some type of way.
My teeth gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at my window, and I can't see at all. If I could, it'd all be great with your picture on my wall. It reminds me that it's not so bad. It's not so bad.
My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. The morning rain clouds up my window, and I can't see it all. Even if I could, it'd all be great. Put your picture on my wall.